First and foremost, I'd like to thank all of my coaches through my 11 years of playing football at every level. I'd like to thank my Uncle Matt for sparking my interest at a young age and being involved at every step leading up to middle school, Coach McGregor and Coach Barker, and eventually Coach Palco. Thank you to Coach Nee for your patience in dealing with me during the beginning of my junior year when we first got to meeting each other. Thank you to Coach Reiser for helping me to grow in the weight room and really helping develop an interest that I don't ever plan to lose. Also, thank you to my parents for showing support through the best and worst of times playing, preparing, and getting me to and from practice and game to game. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to DV Sports for their excellent camera quality, being sure to catch me, my teammates, and my coaches in the best light and at the best angles. To have such quality cameras and software at the high school level is truly something not to be overlooked. I'm going to miss the attention to detail Coach Palks put into those color-coded sheets posted on the whiteboards on Fridays. Thursday team meal is just getting a chance to hang out with the guys, not worrying about the field. I already miss the summer workouts, so much so that I try to incorporate a lot of those exercises into my own workout regimen. But without the whistles or screaming, it's just not the same. I'd also like to give a message to the underclassmen. Please take it from me. Enjoy it all while it lasts. I can now forever say that I learned so much about myself and people and relationships from playing football, and none of those have to do with on-field skills. Cherish getting to know your teammates, and I hope they blossom into your friends. Savor your time getting to know your coaches. They're pretty good guys, all around in this program. Lastly, love your teammates and love them good.
Sam Sloan, number 76, one-year letter winner, played nose guard. Everyone gets a second chance, or from what I understand when I came here, a third or fourth chance. But anyway, Sam was funny with a great personality and wit. A guy who battled injuries his whole career, but when healthy, became a key member of our defensive line. Another kid who I believe was really misunderstood because of his physical stature, but how he conducted himself around the coaches' kids or the special needs kids in the school is really impressive. Sam committed himself to his team and never missed a workout or practice once he did do that.
Yeah, Sam really hit a turning point this year. He just became a whole different person. He was dedicated to the team. He showed up to everything. He wanted to be a leader on and off the field and a great example to the kids.
I mean, it felt like every day you could see a change in Sam, changing the ways how we went about his business. After every summer workout, after every week, you could just tell that he's improving.
It's almost like Sam, he bought into what we were selling.
If you had a bad day and you came down to practice, he would always be there, cheer you up with some stupid saying that he came up with that day, and he was just a great teammate and always lifted you up.
Upon graduation, Sam plans to attend CCAC.
My 12 years of football have made me the person I am today and hope to continue to be. As grueling as some of the August 2-day wake-ups and trips to the training room were, there were plenty of triumphs that made each frustrating second worth it. I would first like to thank my sisters Lily and Molly, members of the marching band. While we often don't get along, the field finally brought together two of our differing interests on Friday nights. Aside from the cliche comments from doing my laundry and making meals pregame, my mother was invaluable throughout my football career. Mom, you'll never know how much it meant that you were able to take steps back and when you needed to and allow me to attack football and learn on my own. You always still kept enough of a presence to keep me safe and successful though. Any other family or friends who came to games or kept up to date certainly are deserving of thanks, but most of all, I can't even begin to thank my father. Giving him the entire few minutes of the speech wouldn't be enough. Maybe someday I'll be able to work up the words to you to tell you what you have meant to me, Dad. Thanks are also in order for two of my first coaches, Coach Chip and Coach Gould. They kept me in the game and never lost hope in elementary school me, as much as I can imagine they may have wanted to. I have to thank my teammates, especially the senior class, for the time on and off the field we have shared. The memories we made, the best and worst of times, will always have a special place in my head and heart. The successes we were able to see could not have been achieved without help from people like Harrison, Lily, and Pittle, DV Sport videographers, the District Food Service, our UPMC trainers Joe, Sarah, and Dan, and all the donors and sponsors. It was truly inspiring to play for people who gave their own time to work for our football experience and hope to give us the tiniest of an edge and create a culture around the team. The help from the community and boosters gave our hard work a purpose. The idea of playing for my guys and the community that supported us made the sweaty equipment and practices until dark well worth it. Every summer workout will always define how I remember my summers. Those practices would not be the same, however, without the rigorous planning and structuring from all coaches. I wish I had time to thank them all for the meal planning, game prepping, huddle analysis, and all other winning strategies. To start, I want to thank Coach Capucci, Kramer, and Hathey for always being a source of comedy. I'd like to thank Mr. B for being my backup when I needed it, Coach Mons for letting me call myself a fullback for the rest of my life, I want to extend special thanks to Coach Reiser for his utmost efforts to turn us into complete people, not just athletes. Coach Barry is another person who has given more than 100% in ensuring my success. Beyond the hours upon hours you spent on huddle, never before have I seen a coach take such an interest in my personal life. When I came to blows with JB during a practice late in October, you talked down my racing emotions and kept me working towards our team goals, and I am thankful for that. To wrap up the coaches, Coach Palco deserves every ounce of praise he's ever received. Like my father, Coach Palks, I have things to thank you for that I don't think a video speech will do service to. To wrap up, I'd like to remind all the underclassmen of how we felt after that playoff win against Seneca Valley this year. The elation of that weekend knowing we had won a home playoff game against a formidable opponent was amazing. Not every game may end like that, but there's little victories in life that you will experience that will prove to you that all of the things came together and served you well for the hard work. Keep showing up, and remember that the work is taking you somewhere like that, and you'll never have a meaningless day for the rest of your life.
Eddie Kubit, number 11, captain, 2-year letter winner, tight end and inside linebacker. Eddie's a great teammate who was genuinely more excited about the team's success rather than his own. He would let you cut off his arm for the betterment of the team. You can't find teammates like this, so I hope everyone has taken notice and tries to emulate Eddie. You also have that smile that can light up a room. How to describe this young man? Selfless, positive, always positive, tough, upbeat. You have a unique ability to lead by example and know what to say while people still listen. You always played the game with a purpose.
Eddie really had all the qualities that you look for in a leader. I mean, he's selfless beyond any doubt. He wants the best of the team more than anything. He's constantly leading guys, leading by example. You know, he's a vocal leader. He's everything you could ask for in a teammate.
I've known Eddie probably since elementary school, and we really had a unique relationship. We lifted together, ran together, studied film together, and he always pushed me and I pushed him. That's something that I'll always remember from him.
Eddie plans to attend college and major in mechanical engineering.
I want to begin with thanking Coach Palco and his staff for their passion, dedication, and patience in coaching me and my teammates. Their combined efforts, level of detail, and standards of excellence inspired me to grow, learn, and believe in myself. I want to thank my teammates for encouraging me in the weight room and on the practice field to get better, faster, and stronger. I want to thank my parents for their support, patience, and their endless encouragement when I was frustrated. One of my most memorable moments was catching my one and only touchdown reception during a JV game as a sophomore. The reaction from my teammates made the moment very special. They recognized my achievement and were very happy for me. Another moment was beating USC this past fall. It was not only a huge victory for our team, but for the entire school. Finally, as I reflected on my time as a Blue Devil, my message to underclassmen would be to enjoy your time playing football and being amongst your teammates. Thank you, and go Lebo.
Andrew Lutz, number 85, 1-year letter winner, played wide receiver and outside linebacker, became a valuable piece in game preparations as the season went along, especially on scout team, provided quality looks in practice, which you guys know is really hard to come by. The thing I noticed about Andrew, he was always eager to participate in practice, always alert, and was always looking to try to help in some way.
So I remember after my freshman into my sophomore year, I was in the same homeroom as Andrew, and we were kind of friends, and he started talking to me, asking if he could come out and play football. And he was always kind of timid, kind of nervous, but he got out there, and as soon as he was with the team, he was 100%. He was working his butt off. He always showed up. He was a team favorite. Guys like seeing him do well in practice. They really appreciated the looks he gave. He's just always been a team guy ever since he finally made that step to join us.
And just to build off that, I remember my sophomore year, we had Aiden Kane on the team who was breaking state records as a wide receiver. I remember running scout team. Lutz always wanted to go up against him, and they were always competing back and forth, and that just really impressed me from Lutz.
Lutz is one of those quieter guys. A lot of people didn't even know his name was Andrew until halfway through the season or even further. But Lutz is one of those guys, when he catches a ball on the scout team or he's making big plays on defense, everyone's going crazy, everyone's happy for him, and they're happy for his success.
Andrew plans to attend Mercyhurst University and hopefully get a job in sports management.
There are many people who deserve far more than a thank you for all the time, effort, and energy they put in this year. But I want to start off by thanking my mom and dad. I'm so lucky to have such a supportive family. I know the past 4 years have not been easy on them, and I can't thank them enough for how caring and understanding they have been. I also want to thank the senior role models I had as an underclassman, as there's no way I'd be sitting here today without them showing me what a good example looks like. There was so much energy to improve the experience and lives on and off the football field, from DV Sport giving us professional film, to the matching jumpsuits, to the nameplates on our lockers. I can't express my gratitude for getting to experience things like these in my final year. I won't ever forget this football season. Football truly was a constant influence these past years, far beyond the Friday night games. You don't understand what a privilege it is to spend countless hours with teammates through film, summer workouts, team dinners, and practices. After all this, I would not trade my experiences with my teammates for anything. Beating Upper St. Clair brought such a sense of community and teamwork as we pushed each other on and off the field to study our opponent and push each other in practice. To the underclassmen, it's important to realize what a privilege it is to play football and enjoy all aspects of it. You won't realize how much it means to you until it's gone. Finally, I want to thank the coaching staff for giving 100% in absolutely everything they do. Their hard work week in and week out did not go unnoticed, and we could not have had a more dedicated group of men. As much as my life has changed throughout my 4 years in high school, I've been lucky to have football as one constant through all of it.
Tommy Peters, number 55, captain, 2-year letter winner, was selected honorable mention Big 56 as an offensive tackle. I'm just going to put this out in the open. We're going to miss the Peters versus Peters battle on the field with his brother. Tommy was a very cerebral person and athlete who was always asking detailed questions, but this guy was so appreciative of all the little things we did. We'd get the boosters bought new stoles. He would say thank you. Grab and go meals, the Thursday meals, the picnic games. You could go on and on. All he did was thank you. He was so grateful. I mean, and which is a tribute to his parents. We always knew Tommy was giving his best. He's just 100% in kind of a guy. A great teammate. Great with the young kids.
Tommy is a tremendously hard worker, especially in the weight room and on the field. He pushes others around him. He's a good leader. Tommy is also a very smart guy who would always prepare very well for football games, and he has a great sense of humor as well.
Tommy really inspired me throughout my high school career. We would always, me, Tayback, and him would always lift with each other, and just him saying, hey, why not 5 more pounds? And we'd say, why not? And even on the field, he would just help us get through the practice. We'd be struggling, it would be hot, and he'd say, hey, let's go, let's keep it going, let's finish this through.
Tommy's like one of the hardest workers I know. Like, the only thing he does is work, and he will try to work until it's perfected. That's the thing that I like the most about him. He's always working his hardest no matter what.
Tommy plans on attending college, majoring in engineering, continuing his football career, but when he's done, wants to work on the desalination process in the Middle East.
I'd first like to thank my mom and dad, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thank you for going to every one of my games since the youth league days, and always making sure I got to my practices and games okay, even if I was the last one to show up. Thank you to my siblings for attending my games and always being supportive during the difficult times. Thank you to all the coaches who helped out this season from taking time away from their families and work to be with us, especially Coach Phil and Coach E, who worked with me every day to push me to be the best wide receiver I could be. Thank you to Coach Palka, who impacted my life more than I ever thought was possible. He taught me that football is just not a game, but a representation of life. It has its happy and frustrating times, but the only thing that matters is how you react to it. Thank you to Coach Reiser, who is more than just a strength coach. I learned very quickly that Coach Reiser notices everything, and with that, it has its positives and negatives. He would notice when it looked like I was about to pass out on the field, and he would always find me food, even if it was during the middle of a game. He was someone I could always count on. Thank you to Coach Chip, and for those who don't know, he is my uncle. After multiple years of him coaching me in the youth leagues, it was very fun to have him around this year, just like the old days. If it wasn't for him convincing my mom to let me play in second grade, I don't know what I'd be doing now. For him to be on the coaching staff for my senior year of football, it was something special for me. I am the player I am today thanks to him. Thank you, Uncle Chip. Thank you to all the parents that made it possible for us to have our meals during camp and the Thursday night team dinners as well. Thank you to the student section for always being rowdy. Thank you to all the teammates. Thank you for all my teammates. I wouldn't ask for a better group of guys to train with and play with for hours upon hours each day for the last 8 months. I'll never forget the blood, sweat, and tears we shared as we went through it all. I'll always cherish the after-win locker room dance parties we would have to celebrate the victory. A special moment I'll always remember is winning at USC and celebrating on their field with the team and student section. As of now, all I can do is give advice to the younger classmen. All I would like to say is, don't take for granted the little things, because that's what you'll remember the most. Enjoy all the moments you have with your teammates, even if it's a summertime sprint on the field in 90-degree heat. Don't wish away time either, because before you know it, you'll be in the same position we are right now, wishing you could play under the Friday night lights just one more time. Thank you.
Sam Lasoda, number 15, 3-year letter winner. Was selected second team, Big 56 All-Conference at wide receiver. He also played defensive back and excelled on special teams. Sam was one of the most misunderstood kids when we arrived because it appeared that this was the last place he wanted to be. After we understood his body language, this is exactly the place Sam wanted to be. Not the biggest, but very skilled and a great route runner. His playmaking abilities were on display. Sam was always eager to make plays when the lights came on. Plus, he actually became a sneaky good blocker.
Ever since I started playing quarterback my freshman year, I've looked to one person, and it was Sam Lasoda. I mean, going through sophomore year JV and then finally the senior year, whenever I was throwing the ball, it was pretty much always a Sam, and I could count on him in the scramble drill just to get open and find someone to get the ball to.
Last year when I came into the program, Sam, who had some varsity experience as a 10th grader, he kind of showed me the ropes and he kind of took me under his wing and taught me what to do. So I was really grateful for that, and he's just a great player all around.
Sam Lasoda, Coach Reiser said it best after our first scrimmage, called him game day for about a week straight. I remember it. He's one of those sneaky, quick, tough guys, and even better person.
Sam plans to attend Miami of Ohio or Bowling Green State University and major in psychology.
I'd like to start off by thanking my family for their constant support throughout my years of football. To my mom and dad, who never missed a game and were always there to support me throughout the highs and lows of my high school career. It is the countless life lessons that you taught me that made me the man I am today. To my siblings, who started my love for the game of football with all those backyard pickup games. Being the youngest was never easy, but it was those games that taught me the pain, joy, and fierce competition associated with the game I love. Without a doubt, the game of football means more than just wins and losses. The bond I created with my teammates is one that I will carry for the rest of my life. Although the summer practices and camp did become grueling at times, having my teammates with me always lightened the mood, made running sprints in 90-degree heat or any other activity much more enjoyable and fun. I also want to thank the coaches for the amount of time that they invested not only into the team, but also us as individuals. In their eyes, each and every one of us was more than just football players. Specifically, I would like to thank Coach Reiser for the countless hours throughout the summer training and the season. Without a doubt, my body was in the best shape of my life and made Friday nights much more easier. Also, I want to thank Coach Barry. The amount of time you spent with us, not only on the field, but also on huddle, it means so much to me. I could always count on the daily notes, whether on our practice, game, or scout film. This attention to detail allowed me to grow so much as a player throughout the season, and I just wanted to thank you for all that you've done for me. Coach Saluga, thank you for all that you've taught me on and off the field. Even with an injured shoulder, you never hesitated to hop into a drill or throw to us pregame. Finally, I want to thank Coach Palco for everything that you did for us. I never had a coach that cared so much for us as people and not just players. Most of the season, I thought you lived in the coach's office because of the time and energy you dedicated to each and every one of us. Overall, I couldn't have asked for a better experience as a high school football player. Looking back, I can't believe that I nearly quit football freshman year. Sitting here today, I can't imagine life without football these past 4 years. The game meant so much to me as a person that I will always dream of playing one more Friday night. To all the younger classmen, cherish every single moment because when the lights go out that final time, they're out for good. Thank you again to everyone that has made this journey one I will remember for the lifetime, and good luck to the players and coaches next season. I'll for sure be watching.
Sam Rolfson, number 6, captain, 3-year letter winner, was selected honorable mention all-conference Big 56 as an inside linebacker. Sam is a true competitor and a joy to watch, whether it was fighting to get the extra yard or making a tackle. He set the defense every play and made every line call. One coach called Sam a dependable technician, a tough, smart, and selfless leader, who loved football, his teammates, and Mount Lebanon. A guy who practiced and played with pride.
Sam was a guy that I grew up with and playing multiple sports, but football was always special to Sam. He could golf, he could play baseball and basketball, but football was different, and you could tell, especially when he played. Him and I would have little inside jokes because we were such good friends growing up in the same neighborhood. He was number 9, I was number 11. You got to call 911, we're dangerous. So he always had time for fun, even with football and with how hard he worked. That's why Sam was I think he was such a special player in this program.
Me and Sam also grew up together, went to Markham, playing football during recess ever since, we were like 5 or 6 years old. So, he's a special guy. There's really no one else I would rather line up with right next to on the defensive side of the ball. And talking about that, he's probably the heart of our defense this year, just telling everyone what to do everywhere. Knew every coverage, every line call, everything.
Yeah, I've known Sam for, I don't know, pretty much ever since middle school. And ever since I've known him, either playing basketball or baseball or football, he's always been technically sound. He's always one of those guys that just fundamentally is one of the best players on the team.
Sam plans to study finance at either Penn State or Ohio State.
I'd like to start by thanking my parents, from doing my laundry to bringing me my practice jersey. I'm truly grateful for everything that they did for me in football up to this point. Next, I would like to thank the coaching staff for taking the time away from their families to create a game plan each and every week. I'd also like to thank Coach Reiser for preparing us for the season. The conditioning that we were in this season really played a major factor in every single game. I'd also like to thank Coach Palco for everything he did this season. From day one, he told the team that he wasn't going to lie to us, and he stayed true to that statement the entire year. Although the season didn't end in the way that we were all hoping, we still had amazing moments. I will never forget any of these. From beating Upper St. Clair at their home field to defending our home turf against Seneca Valley, to just running 12 and 13 a million times at practice until we got it right. I will truly miss every single aspect of Mount Lebanon football. But with my class leaving, I know it's in good hands. To the underclassmen, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Going through this coaching change has been hard transition for all of us, and having a team like you guys who buy in and make the most of the hand that you're dealt, make it an incredible experience. I know for a fact that the work ethic is not an issue for next season and that you guys will exceed all expectations. If I could give you all one word of advice, it would be to cherish the time that you have left. This upcoming season is a very exciting time for you, and you'll never forget the experience. Good luck next season, and I wouldn't want to have played high school football anywhere else.
Max Baker, number 75, captain, 2-year letter winner. Started every game his senior year. When we showed up in February, Max immediately became one of the leaders in the weight room, and he excelled. He's a quiet, reserved guy, but when he had something to say, people did listen. The other thing I know about Max is how great of a teammate he is. He checks all the boxes, leads by example, sacrifices his ego, cares about others, always positive, shows respect to others, reliable.
Like Coach said, he's kind of a quiet leader and kind of a quiet teammate, but he's one of the most trustworthy kids on the team. Someone you can always rely on, and someone you can always go to if you need anything, and go to for a laugh as always.
Max Baker has always been bought in every sense of the word. Max gives everything he has in every event we had for football. He was always a great leader. People looked at him wherever we went.
Baker is a great competitor. It's been a fun time lifting with him, being his lifting partner for the past couple of years. He's very good at getting under people's skin, but he's a good dude. So.
Max plans to attend college and study sports medicine.
I'd like to start off by thanking my fellow players and brothers for becoming a family and treating me like family over the past years that I've been in the program. A huge thanks to my parents and siblings, Cassie, Lizzie, and Shane, for making it to every game that they could. Dealing with me during the season, whether I was talking smack on other teams, excited about something, or upset about something. I'd like to thank Coach Chip for starting off my football experiences right in Little League by teaching me and the other guys important life lessons and teaching us the importance of hard work and being a brotherhood. I'd like to thank Coach Palco for reiterating that in this past year and for changing the way that I practice and work in general. Through the past year with Coach, I've learned to trust my teammates and the other coaches, even if I don't agree with them initially. I've learned to become selfless and be comfortable being uncomfortable. I'd like to thank Coach Kramer for being a second father to me over the past 3 seasons and always giving me good advice and always being there when I need someone to talk to. I'd like to thank Coach Barry for being not only a coach but a role model and a friend to me in the past year, and for showing me a new love for football on the defensive side of the ball. Big thanks to Coach Capucci for dealing with me in the past years, as I mess with him more than I've messed with about anyone. I'd love to thank Coach Phillips for becoming a friend and not only a coach. I'd also love to thank Mrs. Phillips for her great cooking and all the dinners I've had at their house the past 2 years. I'd like to thank Coach Nee for teaching me how to play defense. I'd also like to thank him for joking around with me and making me laugh when he tells me that he could dunk in high school. I'd like to thank Coach Krem and Coach Rye for quite literally changing my life and introducing me to real exercise, making me a better athlete. Lastly, I would like to thank football in general for making me keep my grades up and being the love of my life ever since I picked up a ball. To all underclassmen, I'd like to say, don't ever stop savoring a moment of high school football, because you will miss it the second that it ends.
Everett Lefevre, number 16, 2-year letter winner. Linebacker, a special teams ace. Everett's journey was remarkable, maturing into a starting inside linebacker and playmaker. Everett was fearless, tough. He was aggressive, who proudly developed into a student of the game and really learned the importance of studying our opponents. You were always the first to engage people in conversation, but I admired how upbeat and loyal you were, along with being scrappy.
I've known Everett since elementary school, and for me, he was always the guy I would go to if I needed to laugh or someone to lighten the mood. But this year, being next to him, he's grown so much in my eyes. And both in him, we were kind of undersized at inside backer, but some of the plays that he would make were just kind of eye-opening and really impressed. And that's just something I'll always remember about Everett.
I've been best friends with Everett since middle school and 6th grade when we started playing football together. And he's always been a hard worker, as he's shown this year stepping up in the starting position. But he's always been resilient and, like Coach said, very old school type of player.
The word that Coach Pauk used that I think really describes Everett is scrappy. He really makes all kinds of plays on the football field, just throwing his body around. But off the field, he's also just the team clown. He's hilarious. Every time you need a good laugh, Everett's there for it. And he has one of those laughs that's just contagious. When he starts laughing, it's funny no matter, even if it's the dumbest thing ever.
Everett plans to attend college and major in business or sports science and continue his football career.
As I sat down preparing for this speech, many of Coach Paco's sayings came to mind, most of which I cannot repeat, but one that stuck with me throughout this year was you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And hopefully by the end of this speech, you think I've mastered being comfortable being uncomfortable. I want to start off by thanking all the coaches I've had from my first year playing football up till now in my senior year for teaching me so much, not just about football, but all about life lessons I've learned along the way. I want to thank every player on the team this year. Although some of you did not see the field as much as you wanted, you all had a big role in our success. You were there every day, grinding with the rest of us and pushing us to be our best. To the seniors, I want to think back to when we started playing football and all the players we started with and everyone who was supposed to be here. But the difference is, we were the people who were committed. The reason why we were here and the reason why we made it and the others did not is because we know playing football is not easy. But you all saw it as a challenge that you knew would be hard, but kept working, and I want to thank you for being my friends, my teammates, my brothers, because I will remember each and every one of you. Ask your father, your uncle, your grandfather, because they are still able to tell you who they played with them, with the kids who went through everything for the summer, workouts, to camp, finally someone who pushed every day to be your best. I especially want to thank Coach Palco and how he was able not just to make us better football players, but better people by teaching us that it's not all about football. And he has helped each and every player have more character than they started. And he knows by doing that, we've all become better teammates, students, sons, and friends. I'm amazed at how he was able not only to bring the team closer to one another, but bring the community together, which is evident to the first community day. Thanking all the people behind the scenes. This was a great success and hopefully becomes a tradition. I want to thank my mother. My mother has always been my biggest fan, my biggest supporter,
She's been to every game, every scrimmage. She got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, made me breakfast, made me a second breakfast for after, and drove me to practice every day in 9th grade. I just want to say, I love you, Mom. I also want to thank my dad for everything that he has taught me over the years by setting a good example for me to refer to on how to be a great friend, husband, and father. And I know that if I am half the man that you are, then I'll turn out alright. My favorite memory from this year was beating USC at their place on the Hall of Fame recognition night. My message to the younger kids is that life is very simple. Do what is right, do your best, and treat others like you want to be treated. If you follow those rules, you'll be in pretty good shape.
Jack Sullivan, number 24, captain, 2-year letter winner, safety and special teams whiz, a quiet personality, respectful kid who just loves to bring the wood, plays with emotion, who made several momentum-changing INTs this year. Another guy I would go to for his opinion. I mean, I always respected what he always seemed to have the heartbeat of the team. Well liked by all of his teammates. He's a great teammate. He's honest, he's humble, he's hardworking. One coach called him a whistle-to-whistle player.
Yeah, Sully, you could always count on him to be the nicest dude at practice. He always knew everything that was going on, but when it came game time, he was the hardest hitter on the field, and you could always expect that out of him.
Yeah, I've been playing with Sully since middle school. We were the two safeties all throughout middle school and going into 9th grade, so what a great high safety. There's no one else I'd rather have up there.
Sully, he was just a great all-around teammate. He had one of the highest football IQs on the team, always knew the plays. I just remember against USC, he imposed his will the whole game and really set the tone for that whole game. It was awesome.
Jack Sullivan plans to go to college, continue his lacrosse career, and eventually work for the FBI.
I would like to start off this speech with a thank you to my sister, dad, grandma, grandpa, my best friends, and my girlfriend, but most importantly, my mom. I appreciate Coach Pelko, Coach Campbell, Coach Mons, and Coach Reiser for everything that they've done for me this year. I appreciate the gear, the food, and the pump-up videos, but most importantly for the love that they gave me when I needed it. I remember the days when I was 15 years old sitting in football practices thinking that this moment would never come. When I was young, the upperclassmen treated me like their own, and I felt like I had to do the same. I will miss playing with my best friend JB Nelson the most out of anything in this program. I will miss being someone that the younger kids could look up to, not only as an athlete, but as a real person. I'm not saying fully because we all know I'm not the best role model, but I treat everyone like a human being and love to make others smile. Young kids, try to make everyone feel like they have a place. I thank my mom because she taught me how to act and taught me how to be a good person. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. My message to the underclassmen: time flies, young bucks. Next thing you know, you'll just be like all of us seniors. So make it great, have fun with your boys, make practice fun, and don't be so serious. Most importantly, underclassmen, treat everyone on the team with love and in general. Put yourself in others' shoes. Try to understand how people feel, because the only thing that we have in this life is relationships and the people around us.
Mason Ventrone, number 12, captain, 4-year letter winner, was selected first-team defensive back as a sophomore in the Southeastern Conference. His junior season saw him selected all-conference Big 56, second team as a defensive back. And his senior year, all-conference second team Big 56 in the multi-purpose position. Mason played multiple positions his senior year on offense and played outside linebacker and defensive back on defense.
I've known Mason since second grade when we first started playing football together, and he's been a great player and a great friend to me for the last 10 years, and I really appreciate playing with him for the last 10 years.
I knew Mason since second grade too. I used to play football with him when we were really young. We used to be on the same football team. He always had that type of energy, always bringing people up, always ready to make a play.
I haven't really known Mason that long, but he's been a really good person to me and my friends, and it was really nice playing with him this year, and he's such a great athlete to be around.
Mason plans to attend college, major in business, and continue his football career on scholarship.
To start, I would like to thank Mount Lebanon Football for giving me the best high school football experience I could ever ask for. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being at every single game since the first grade and cheering me up after a loss and humbling me after a win. Whether it was mom telling me to kick ass before every game, or dad sending me highlights of former NFL players to hype me up before Friday night, I couldn't have done without you guys. And to my brother, grandparents, cousins, and everyone I love, I appreciate you making the effort to come see me play or tune into the game from wherever you had been that Friday night. I would like to thank the many youth coaches that have taught me the game of football and got me to the point I am at today, starting with my dad, Matt Gold, Coach Chip, and many, many more. I would also like to thank the boosters and all the parents for helping me to make this year perfect. Thank you, Coach Reiser, for everything you have done for me in the weight room this year and as well as beyond the weight room. Thank you, Coach Mons, Coach Needbaugh, and the rest of the staff this year for creating an unbelievable season that I will never forget. Thank you, Coach Mons, Coach Needbaugh, and the rest of the staff this year for creating an unbelievable season that I will never forget. Coach Mons, I will always respond to your texts about what play an NFL or college team just ran, even if I will never be your offensive coordinator again. Coach Campbell, I appreciate you having the outside linebackers over every Sunday during the season to go over the new defensive scheme. I would do anything for just one more of those meetings. And finally, to Coach Palko, it seems like I've known you longer than 1 year, but I thank you for all the guidance and lessons you have taught me since last February. You instantly have left a mark on me that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And to my teammates, I appreciate all you guys did for me and helped me with throughout the season. We're a family now, and I love every single one of you guys. I would do anything to go back out on that field with you guys and beat down USC again. My message to the underclassmen is simply to do everything you can in the offseason and preseason to make the fall the best time of your life. Thank you.
Evan Jones, number 10, captain, 2-year letter winner. Selected first team, Big 56 All-Conference as a multi-purpose player. A guy who played multiple positions on both sides of the ball for us this year and was a leader by example. Most of the coaches commented that Evan had incredible work ethic, was ultra competitive, and very tough.
Yeah, Evan, I've been playing with him since 3rd grade, and he's always been a competitor since then. This year, though, he really just stood out among all of Whitfield, and we could always count on him to bring up morale in games and practice whenever it was slow and we needed something done.
Evan is a versatile athlete, a great leader, a great friend, and a great teammate. It was an honor to develop the center quarterback connection we have over the past couple of years.
Evan's always been a great leader, always happy, always ready to play, always wanted to be at practice, just a good person and a good teammate overall.
My favorite Evan Jones moment was the Thursday night before the Cannon Mac game. This seemed to be, early in the season, one of the defining moments for our football team, and very powerful.
He talked out the whole team. He was like, we need to change, and he just took everything into his control and it affected the team very well in a positive manner.
Yeah, I would say that really turned our season around. Evan stood up, and it took great courage to address the team, but he did it, and that allowed us to go upward from there.
Evan's future plans are to major in kinesiology and play football on scholarship, possibly at Colgate.
I would like to start off by thanking my mom, my sister, my grandma, my friends, and my girlfriend. You have definitely made this year easier on me. I would also like to say a huge thank you to Coach Reiser, Coach Palko, and the rest of the coaching staff for all the excitement you brought all year. For all the new gear you provided us, that has truly made an impact on this organization in the small amount of time you've been here. I was never the kid who believed in change. Coach Palko showed me that you can always change for the better. I think that was the best thing someone has ever told me. I'd like to thank my teammates who have had my back since the beginning. I love you guys. This year was a blast, and I'll never forget. And to the younger kids, stay lit. You guys are so much fun being around, seeing you guys grow every day. It was so exciting. Keep the energy going into the next season and stay focused. Your time will come soon, but until then, enjoy it. Go Lebo.
Drew Vaughn, number 21, 2-year letter winner. Played running back and outside linebacker. It's impressive and rewarding at the same time to see a young man stand amongst his peers, looking them in the eyes and committing himself to the team. Drew had to bury his past and never missed a team workout ever since. The best thing is that he continued to get better every week. We are so proud of your journey. I heard a coach comment about how you started the season apologizing and ended playing an unbelievable game, being overmatched with numerous double teams against Central, but still finding a way to make plays. He had tears in his eyes because of your relentless effort. He was inspired.
I would have to agree. I mean, a lot of changes from Drew over the season. Knowing him from when we always grew up, he was always one of the best athletes. But he always, he didn't always have that
commitment, but over the course of high school and especially senior year, starting with apologizing in camp and confronting the team, it was great growth we've seen from Drew, and that showed in his play, especially towards the end of the season, taking on things like learning defensive line at his size and still being able to play that hard for the people around him. I think it was really inspiring.
Drew Vaughn is a kid that you want lead blocking for you. Anytime I was running either way, I'd say, Drew, take me to the promised land, take me to the hole, and then kind of just run after him and trust him.
Drew is undecided on his future plans.
I would like to thank my mom for everything she did for me. I would also like to thank the coaching staff and the boosters for their dedication to making this team as good as possible. I feel like the behind-the-scenes things were the most important things. I appreciated how everything was detailed, how you would have a certain schedule during the day, such as morning check-ins, just coming down during lunch, watching film, just being around players. These seems like little things, but they played a huge role. It helped a lot during the regular season. This year, academically, I have improved my grades significantly within the season. The moments I'll miss the most are the bus rides with the guys after when it doesn't get better than that. My message to the underclassmen is to enjoy the moment before you know it's over, and make sure to come to practice too. You don't realize how much you miss it until it's gone, and make sure you trust the coaching staff. They know what they're doing. They do everything to make sure we succeed and grow into men.
J.B. Nelson, number 77, captain, 3-year letter winner. As a junior, he was selected All-Conference Big 56 first team as a defensive lineman. As a senior, he was also selected All-Conference Big 56, but this time he was first team offensive tackle. He was selected a member of the prestigious Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Fab 22. Once we got through JB's reservation on trusting the process, he actually embraced it and put in the work necessary and made himself accountable. He bought into very demanding schedule that is necessary to be a champion. He changed his body and was able to become a two-way athletic, explosive football player. But his best quality is he's a soft-spoken kid, always smiling, but do not cross his boys.
JB was always a leader, in my 3 years playing junior varsity and varsity. JB, the first 2 years, led by example, obviously. I mean, he's a tremendous football player. But this senior year, he really stepped up. He was vocal. He showed everybody what a hard worker looked like, and he really impressed me.
JB, he's a very quiet kid. But whenever you get to know him, this man does not shut up. He's a great kid, great athlete, great football player. We all know that. He's a huge kid, not that many huge kids with such good physicality, and he's very athletic too, and both good player and a good kid.
JB plans to attend a junior college to continue his academic and athletic career on a scholarship.
It has truly been a long journey playing for Mount Lebanon High School. Although I've only been a part of this program for 2 years, it has truly been something special to me. The long days of intense workouts during the summer to being on the field with my friends on Friday nights will be some of the greatest memories I'll ever have. I'd like to acknowledge the great coaching staff we had this year and give a huge thank you to all the boosters who gave the team the opportunity to have really nice gear on and off the field. I would like to give a special shout out to my mom. She's my best friend and my #1 fan. I appreciate everything you have done for me and being there for me through all the hard things that I have gone through recently. Words can't describe how thankful I am to call you my mom. Through my whole football experience, I really enjoyed all the intense workouts during the summer as well as the preparation that took place before the games. This overall helped me become a better player and set an unforgettable bond with my fellow teammates. Football has pushed me to become a better person inside and outside of school, along with my bettering my academics. I thought it was very important how the coaches advocated for good grades rather than focusing on the game of football. They helped me realize that school is a huge priority and there's more in life than just the game of football. There are many special moments during this season. Coach Palco did his very best to change the ways of our school and its relationship with the athletic programs, especially with football. I enjoyed how our team would bring recognition and awareness to those who are going through a lot in life, such as those with health problems and those who have lost a loved one. This has improved the way people portray this team and each player, showing that we as a team are here for everyone even if you don't play sports. This experience has brought the community of Mount Lebanon closer together. Lastly, for the underclassmen, I had a lot of fun with each and every one of you.
I'm going to miss cracking jokes with you guys on and off the field. Y'all have a lot of responsibilities coming up your way. When times get hard, just remember to keep working and stick with each other. Overall, I'd like to say thank you, and I hope for the best for each and every one of y'all.
Malik Snyder McGee, number 43, 2-year letter winner. Played linebacker, on defense, fullback and tight end on offense, and was a huge special teams contributor. When we got here, Malik was coming off knee surgery from the previous season and really didn't start to feel comfortable until game 3 or 4 into the season. A complete animal in the weight room who was a positive role model. A man of few words, but always wanted to do well and contribute. He's a man's man. Had numerous life talks with you, and I enjoyed every one of them. Once he was healthy, he had the ability to explode into blockers and ball carriers and completely set the tone in practice. I truly feel Malik will appreciate the lessons we tried to instill more and more as each day goes.
Something that stands out about Malik to me is just how hard he worked in the weight room in practice and when he gets in games. So every day, me and Malik would do form tackling and every tackling drill together, and in my opinion, he's without a doubt the hardest hitter on the team.
For me, I've seen Malik grow so much as a person and a player, especially on the field. I know he would sometimes frustrate some of the offensive coaches during scout team defense because he would be blowing up plays and making them very frustrated. But also, he was just, to build off Everett, one of the hardest hitters I've ever faced. I know in some of those ISO drills, we would collide, and it seemed like it wouldn't even faze him, but for me, it would seem like I hit a brick wall. So that's just something I'll remember about Malik.
I've had the pleasure of knowing Malik on and off the field, and I can say both ways there. I mean, he's one of the tougher guys I know. He's been through it, both on and off, physically with injuries as well, and also the weight room, as said before. Tough dude in there. His diet, I feel like that says a lot about a person and a lot about him.
Malik plans to attend college, major in business, and join the ROTC program and continue his football career.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad for everything that they have done for me throughout my football career. The life lessons they have instilled in me have put me in a position to be successful on and off of the field. I remember strapping up the pads in 2nd grade and immediately falling in love with the sport of football. It's tough looking back at the past 10 years of my football career and knowing that it has come to an end. I have had some great coaches in my career, and I would like to especially thank Coach Chip. You continue to positively impact many aspiring young football players the same way you did me. I am very lucky to be surrounded by a great group of kids that have influenced me throughout this process. I couldn't have asked for a better group of boys. Even through the ups and downs, we all stuck together. I think I was able to find success in my career, mostly because of my fear to fail. My greatest fear has always been letting my teammates down, so I always was very hard on myself and gave every snap my all. I'd like to thank Coach Wells and Coach Hathey for being phenomenal mentors. Both are tremendous role models who will continue to impact the lives of many aspiring linemen. Coach Gagler, it was an honor to have played for you dating back to the JV football grind. I appreciate all of the pass rush moves that you have taught me. And as offensive line coach my junior year, you gave me a chance to earn my spot, and that is all I ever needed. Coach Palco, I will always remember how you have positively impacted my life and the lives of others around me. I had some confidence issues earlier in the season after my struggles against Gateway. You never doubted my abilities and taught me a new way to snap, and from then on I had no issues, and for that I am grateful. This is exactly what I needed to help me get back on track and help my team. I hope I was able to set a good example for my teammates because that is very important to me. I love my teammates. We've been through a lot together, and we have created plenty of memories that will be cherished. I used to watch Friday nights from the bleachers or listen to the varsity players speak at our banquets and always dream of playing under the lights. And it is crazy to me that it has gone by so fast. I am extremely blessed to have been able to represent my school, and I hope I have left a positive imprint on this football team. And to the team next year, you guys have a tremendous opportunity to pick up where we left off and take it all the way to Hines. Coach Reiser has an excellent program implemented which fosters leadership and hard work, and if you give off-season workouts and summer practices your all, then it will pay off. Thank you.
Ethan Tabak, number 52, captain, 2-year letter winner, was selected honorable mention, all-conference, Big 56 at center, started every game his senior year. One coach said about Ethan, the hardest worker on the team and every play was his absolute best effort and incredibly smart. We thought he was highly emotional and committed, and he always displayed it. Knew it was his last year, and he wanted to make it his best. And from what I understand, maybe the biggest smack talker on the team.
Yeah, like Coach said, I think it was the third or second play of the NA game. The ref had to calm him down from talking smack on the line. But other than that, I mean, he was all around a great teammate, great kid. And then we always used to go on our dinner dates, I guess you could call them, on Wednesday nights, and we'd go to places like Jade Grill and Little Tokyo, and it's something I'll remember for a while.
Well, ever since I can remember, me and Ethan Tamak have always been going after it on the line. Freshman year, we came in, we became instant friends, lifting partners all through high school. He's one of my best friends on the team. Yeah, he's the biggest smack talker on the team easily. Against Pine Richland, he had to be calmed down third play, like just in NA.
Yeah, Ethan, very emotional. You can always count on him, though. If someone's messing up in practice, he'll get on you and make sure that you're doing the right thing. So that was always good to have him around.
Ethan plans to attend college and study business.
First, I want to say thank you to my parents because they have made it possible for me to play football for all these years. I also want to thank my siblings for their continued support. Next, I want to thank the coaching staff for the countless hours they put in to make our team successful. I don't think I'll ever know how many hours Coach Palka spent at the high school this year. Also, thanks to all the parents that helped out during the season for all our meals. I remember last February thinking about how long the season is going to be, with workouts before and after school, during the spring, all through the summer, and then camp in August. I thought we'd never get to the actual season. But before I knew it, we were walking off the field as seniors at Fox Chapel for the last time, knowing that our high school careers had ended. I'm just thankful that I got the opportunity to play with this group of guys, both the seniors and underclassmen, because we developed friendships that will last a lifetime. When it comes down to it, I may not remember the outcome of each of our games, but I always remember the time that I spent with the guys on this team. Again, thank you to everyone that made this season possible, and underclassmen, enjoy each day you have with this group of people because it doesn't last forever.
Joey King, number 23, 2-year letter winner. Played wide receiver and multi-dimensional special teams guy. Joey started every game his senior year. Joey's an extremely intelligent player on and off the field. He is a man of few words, though. Actually, maybe less than a few words. But he has outstanding ball skills and was extremely unselfish and was our best blocking wide receiver, turning some of those blocks into a complete street fight. We used the term lunch pail guy, and Joey fits that description. He came to work every day and empties his pockets. Gives everything he can for the team.
Kind of a quiet kid, Joey King is, and he's been like that ever since he moved here. But he fit right in with us. He became a great teammate, and like Coach said, anytime I'd run to the outside, he was always there blocking for me and led to a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive having him come in as junior, having to learn a new system junior year and senior year, and was able to start his senior year. It was pretty impressive, I thought.
Yeah, he was fun to have with on the outside. We did a lot of good stuff out there. I could always count on him to throw me a block if needed, and it was just good to have him out there.
My favorite Joey King moment was the playoff game against Central Catholic, where he leaps to make this fantastic catch down the sideline. Extremely excited and into the game, while the side judge was running down to stop the clock, waving his arms. Joey jumped up and high-fived the official. I'll never forget that moment. Joey plans to attend college and major in engineering.
To begin, I would like to acknowledge the fact that if I were to sit here and shout out or to thank everyone that has played a role for me getting to where I am today, this speech would be never ending. That being said, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Lord, followed by my family that showed up to every game through my entire football career, rain, snow, or shine. I started playing football in 2nd grade, and through that time until now, I have seen it all. I've had good coaches and I've had bad ones. I've had great teammates and I've had not so great teammates. I've been on championship teams and I've been on losing teams. Through it all, I've learned that it's not about fancy gear, banners, snacks, uniforms. While all that is nice, it doesn't mean anything. It's about buying in. It's about each individual player's on the team willingness or desire to win. This year was different than any other year that I've played football thus far, from a standpoint of preparation. And a huge shout out goes to Coach Reiser on that front. Every single player on the team would say that through the summer workouts, they gained a huge degree of speed and strength. Which brings me to my next point. The amount of time the coaching staff spent away from their families preparing the game plan and making sure that players have everything they need goes entirely unnoticed. Some other people that deserve shout outs for going above and beyond the call of duty, for making the team first above themselves, are Dan King and Ethan Tabak. The amount of effort that they put into every single week and making the team better and caring about every player goes completely under the radar, and I think they deserve some credit on that front. To the underclassmen, I would say, be a leader. A football team cannot be successful without someone or a group of people leading the charge in all workouts, practices, and hangouts. That means treating everyone with respect on and off the field. And that's not just for the captains. In everything, being successful means attention to detail. In school, in business, in all your activities, the little things is what sets an individual, a team, and a program above the rest. The person that I haven't mentioned yet, who deserves the most amount of credit for completely recreating a culture for Lebo football, is Coach Palco. The drive and dedication and attention to detail in that man in everything he does defies what previously had been seen as possible. The entire athletic program at Mount Lebanon has Coach Palco to thank for the success they have had this year and in the prosperous years to come.
Jack Castero, number 28, 2-year letter winner, played defensive back, and was a special teams demon. One of the top all-around kids I've had the chance to coach in my career. So mature beyond his years, with an infectious attitude. Jack was another one of those players I went to for advice on how to handle certain situations. And Jack was usually correct. He was a guy who always prepared and had tremendous work ethic. He always understood his role and would do anything for the team before himself. He was such a positive role model.
Jack was a very good leader. He not only led by example, but in some cases used his voice and was listened to and heard by everyone on the team.
Whenever I think of Jack, I also just think of a born leader. I've never maybe running sprints in the summer and after practice when everybody was exhausted. He was always there to lighten the mood and really get everybody going again. And that just really left a great image in my mind.
Same thing that they said. Jack, he might not be the biggest kid, but he's the hardest worker for sure. He's very intelligent on football and real life. He knows what he's saying, and he's just great to have around the team.
Jack plans to attend college, study engineering, and continue his track career, pole vaulting.